Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Can I ask a question? Do you also feel that it is the same energy in which all of us are there and we are talking to each other as if we are talking to ourselves? Do you connect with that awareness?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Very much. Yeah, it's very special. What we have with this group is extraordinary, and I don't take it for granted in any way at all.
No.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lifesaver for us at the moment. What we're going through.
Yeah.
We have Teo's brother in palliative care at the moment, and a lot of decisions and a lot of family things to take care of. So these satsangs which we're sharing are just so special and
very supportive.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm very aware of everybody, of all the lovely people, and I like seeing their faces to begin with, but I'll turn it off because then I can really concentrate, because otherwise I find myself peering at people and looking at their faces and I can become quite distracted by that. Yeah. So
They are beautiful faces, that's why you get attracted to them.
that's very true. Yeah, very true.
Beautiful.
What does everybody else think?
We feel it is very special as well. It does put lots of things in perspective, in which the life that we lead, it is so easy to get sucked into problems and issues and just flow with the flow. But this, I think, makes us pause and think and realize that the ebb and flow of life actually is not something which can sway you. You can stand apart and see it.
Very true. So, Neelakantanji, do you want to say some nice?
Yeah, sure. Jyoti Bahirjyoti Pratyajyoti Parat Parat Jyotirjyoti Swayam Jyoti Atma Jyoti Shivosmyaham Jyotirjyotir Swayam Jyoti Atma Jyoti Shivosmyaham. I am the auspicious one, the inner light and the outer light and the indwelling light, higher than the highest, the light of all lights, self-luminous, the light that is the self.
Pay attention to your silence. Stay in this silence all the time. And that is a real satsang. Company of silence, company of pure awareness, company of Ramana, company of Christ, company of Shiva, company of Absolute. And until you abide in company of the Absolute, you will always be restless. And that is so beautiful. Because unless you get your beloved, nothing can satisfy you. Nothing from the materialistic world, no attraction to the living beings, or desire to achieve something. Everything might satisfy you for time being, and then the mind comes back again in this journey to find the truth. And if you're not a seeker, then it will look for something else, and then something else, and then something else. And if you think God is so compassionate, if we are satisfied, 100% satisfied with our relationships, with anything, everything around us, and everything is giving so much of joy, we will never look within to find the Absolute. And then there is another paradox. If we are satisfied with everything around us, no desire left, then also we meet the Absolute. So if we are 100% satisfied, we meet our beloved in the heart. There is no work for the ego. If we are 100% satisfied, satisfaction from the job, from the family, from living conditions, from the body, and also from the mind. Let mind produce any number of thoughts, desires, whatever, emotions, feelings. And if we are contented at the level of our heart, there is no place for the ego to stay. It has to dissolve. It has to melt away. There is no job left for ego if we are contented. So contentment is a big virtue. If we work on that, we will get the Absolute, ever free. And let's say we are not contented, we are unhappy, we are restless, we are still after things in one way or the other. Then you look within. Try to find out something within us which is not getting affected at all. And always, always remember, the one which is unhappy is not me. This unhappy being is a ghost in me. And my job is to get rid of this ghost. I am ever contented. I am ever happy. I am blissful. I am peaceful. There is never ever suffering for me. No one can make me suffer. So whenever unhappiness arising, suffering arising, remember it's not you. And watch it. Watch that being who's unhappy from this awareness, from this nothingness, from this neutral state where you're not even judging that person who is unhappy. But watch as awareness. Your awareness and my awareness and someone else's awareness is not different. The qualities of awareness are always the same. Just conscious, alive, silent, uninvolved, and so always in peace. Watch this unhappy being, the being with thoughts, emotions, agenda, plan, mission, acting smartly in the world. Watch him, watch her. And also with love and compassion. We are not trying to hate anyone. Watch this, which is so close to us, which actually acts like us, but not us. Watch from this awareness. And watch with keen interest, with attention. Without judging, without liking, disliking this being in us. And at this stage, this being looks like he's interested in spirituality, to know himself or herself, and has gone on a journey, a spiritual journey. And this being is getting purer and purer, unfolding, more still, more loving, kind, compassionate, but is still feeling somewhere incomplete. Inheriting all the qualities of pure awareness, but is still missing somewhere. With a mind which is sattvic, close to sattvic, no tamas, a bit of rajas. So almost complete, too complete. How much is the gap? And whether this awareness is in reach of this who is trying to reach. So who is going to win? It is not like US elections that someone has to win and someone has to lose. It is exactly opposite. Here the loser is the winner. The loser is the winner. The one who is seeking has to disappear. The one who has to reach there has to vanish. The one who has to be immortal has to die first. The one who has to reach has to die. If the mind is listening to this, it has to dissolve. Or if the heart is listening, the job is already done. It depends from where the listening is happening, from mind or from heart. Heart is the seat of consciousness. Heart is the absolute. And heart has no judgment, only love. And in a mature seeker, the heart is always open, eager to hug the beloved, to embrace, and looking within. But yes, the entry is banned for the mind, for the ego. The only way they can enter into the heart is by melting away. By disappearing. To give up the fake identity that I am this body-mind complex on some sort of a mission. And remember, it's just a pure role play. It is a play. Maya is also a play. All this illusion is a play. And this play is happening in the substrata of us only. It is happening, this whole play is happening on us. We are holding this projector called mind, which is just projecting this word. Whether you are interested or not, it doesn't matter, it's just a play. Don't be serious about anything happening in life, to your body or the body of people around you. Remember, it's a play, but in play, when you know play, you still have compassion in this play. You're not going to turn into a monster or a devil if you know it's a play. Because whose play is this? And you realize this is your play only. And in your play, who is good and who is bad? And who is separate from you? We are all the same universal consciousness without any difference. Remember, ego is nothing. Only a wrong notion. That's why people say when someone is very egoistic that he has a lot of air. It is only air. It has no solid ground. Okay, what ego is comprised of? It takes all the power from the source, what we are, and then takes identity from the matter, from the materialistic world, this body mind complex, and becomes like a trade person who is like a middleman, like a broker who knows both parties. He knows the owner and he knows the material, and he thinks he is taking care of this body mind. It's like you are the owner of a property, and if you have given to a real estate agent to look after the property, and he starts thinking that he owns this property, and one day you come there and you stand there tall, and he remembers and he shies away. So there is a property and you are the owner. There is no middleman who claims that he owns this body mind. And you are the owner of all the body minds, not the one through which you speak. Let's say you are owner of the whole city, Melbourne, and you live in a house. Which house is yours? All of them. But someone can say that you only have one house, but you know all the houses are yours. Maybe others don't have access to the data that all the houses are yours, and they only see you as the body mind, as the house you're living in. What they will think? They will think you are just restricted to this body mind. And this is the biggest misconception by spiritual seekers when they talk to the teacher. All their life, people were thinking Bhagavan Ramana is the body, and they all have a picture. I'm not saying that picture is wrong. Picture motivates you to go back and look within into your heart to see Ramana there. But the picture is fake as this body mind. His body mind was also as fake as any other body mind. But because people know their own body mind as real, they were always attracted to his body mind. But yes, there were mature spiritual seekers who could get beyond it. The day starts, our mind starts, takes action, thinks. Nothing wrong with that. But you stay as awareness. And please don't get involved in day-to-day dramas. Not that action should stop, action should go. But that personality should drop completely. Work like nothing, behave like nothing. Nothing belongs to you. You don't want anything from anyone. Live on mercy of people. Live on the grace of God. If someone comes and hugs and likes you, you hug them. If someone is in a dire strait, help them. But don't run for fame, name, attachment. Someone is unhappy and asking why you are unhappy and complaining. Move from that person of pittiness, guilt of any type, thinking this is right, no, I should do this, no, I should do this, no, I should buy for this much. Leave aside whatever comes your way, just accept it. Profit or loss or no decision. Take life as you are nothing, and whatever comes, you take everything with folded hands. Total acceptance to everything. Not picking and choosing. Not discriminating. Just accepting what comes. And when you stay like this, a big change will occur in you. The supreme power in you will take care of everything in the best possible way, better than what you can do. The real owner will occupy this body-mind. And the one who thinks he can do something will disappear, because you're not giving any work to that ego. You're accepting everything. You're not complaining about anything. What the ego has to do except disappear. And what mind has to do? The mind will be so pure, it will reflect the self. Because there is no rajasic agitation in the mind to do this, to pick up this, to do this right, and to keep looking into sorting out. You have given away this work. The mind will be pure sattvic. It will reflect the self in all its glory. No agitations. So that active mind will turn into the passive, subdued, never ever hurting you, never ever taking pride of anything, never ever taking any guilt of anything, not attracted to anything, not disliking anything. Total acceptance. These are very, very profound things. Contentment, total acceptance. If we stay like this, there is no work to the mind and no identity of the ego. And what is left is the pure awareness. And remember, this pure awareness has no religion, no country, no identity. And once you recognize your own awareness, you recognize the awareness all around you. And now another difficulty arises. If you think it is difficulty, now you don't see others. You only see images in this pure awareness. And you don't see this body-mind. You only see an image. And once known, you can never forget. The simple things we don't forget, like I'm a male, I'm a female, or I'm married, I'm unmarried. Can you get confused if someone asks you, are you married? You say, yes, I'm married or unmarried, whatever you are. How can you forget that you are pure awareness? Just because you are using this body-mind to do the trivial things in this world? Just because you are a visitor here, you forget what you are? Because you're involved in your business or job, interacting with people, talking to them, making some decisions. Would you forget that you are awareness? Not even for a second. How can you? So the real issue here is just that we have actually lost in this illusion and forgot that we are this awareness and not the body mind. So contemplate on this truth that we are awareness, not the body mind. And keep repeating it again and again and again and again and contemplate on it again and again and behave as awareness all the time till it becomes natural for you. And why will you do that? The first and foremost is there are thousands of beings in this world who has done it and who are telling the truth. And we have given reasoning in our own life and found that in spite of going for desires, no lasting happiness has left us. We are not eternally happy and satisfied. And we all have realized at some stage in our spiritual journey that when mind is quiet, we are in peace, we are in bliss. How good it would be if the mind is always in peace, always quiet. How good it will be. All this is evidence-based for a skeptical mind. It is not just faith. You start somewhere, you make a hypothesis. That is also a faith. Before any research project, we have a hypothesis that this thing works like this, and let's check. On this journey, we have read scriptures, spoken to the people, tried to find it out, cross-checked different religions, and now we know, yes, there is something which can give eternal peace. And so we are embarking on this journey. And slowly as it unfolds, we know the truth. Probably the mind is still having a doubt or two. But our heart knows. So all the listening should be from the heart. And even when the mind is having a doubt, heart knows that it is truth. It's nothing but the truth. And we all are that absolute truth. Once you know that, you are for everyone, and everyone is for you. Whether the person next to you doesn't know this or has nothing to do with spirituality, or even might hate you, but you love everyone. Everything is your own projection of your own mind. And the substrata is you only, as pure awareness. So both the substrata and the images are only your own creation. You are the background and you are the images. In both ways, there is no other. So whom would you compete against? All are your own images. Total acceptance has to come because it's your own creation. And love has to come because everything is you only. Talking to people or not talking to people, interacting or not interacting. Never lose your true identity. That you are pure awareness. And you are nothing. Nothing which can be perceived by the sensory objects, sense organs, or the mind. Nothing. So for mind, you are nothing. And nothing belongs to you. And you don't want anything. What will you want? You have created everything. Whether it is a mess or whether it is a heaven. This dream is our own creation. And it is a waking dream. Who else can make us suffer except us? and how a dream can make you suffer when you know it is a dream. Abide in your own stillness. And don't move out of your heart. Because of old habits, the mind might entice you, the ego might show its ugly head, and might discriminate or judge things as you used to do in the past. But please don't move from this stillness. Watch it from here. And I assure you, your bad old habit will drop soon. Maybe if the people around you do gossiping and their mental energy is very much materialistic, you might want to avoid their company, and that's okay. That's good for your spiritual growth. And then there will be a time when, even if you are between any type of elements, you know that you are awareness and you don't slip back into the mind body complex. So, this is the power of satsang. Satsang will take you there. And this is the cumulative energy of the Sattvic minds, which will help you to rise your consciousness to that level. And then there are beings who are full of their mind. And if your consciousness is just rising up but not that strong, their energy can pull you back, suck you back. So it could be a one step up and two steps down. And that is the reason why vairagya, dispassion, solitude, satsang, practice, all this is so important. But when we earnestly try to find the truth, the grace within and the grace outside helps us, gives us the right conditions and atmosphere to go within deeper and deeper. And leave everything to that supreme power which is running the show. And we are all part of that supreme power. Which you can't see, but you can be. So you should be involved in the work, but uninvolved from within. Giving judgments in a decision making, but inside completely non-judgmental. Maybe supporting the right deed but inside loving both people together as same. No one is a bad person or a good person. There are only good deeds and bad deeds. Always stay in this neutral atmosphere within. Then whole world will be your family. Unconditional love to all the beings. Same awareness flows in everyone. Once you realize this, you don't have to read any scriptures, or someone has to support you to tell you that yes, you know the truth. Truth speaks from within. You are your own evidence. And as they say, action speaks louder than words. You become embodiment of love. But here there is a paradox. Who can taste this love? Who is open from heart? But someone comes with an ego and pride can never taste this love. Because as awareness, you reflect them only in your own beingness. You become the mirror of others as a pure mind becomes mirror of the awareness. So if someone comes with a big ego, the ego hits them back when they meet you. And if someone comes with purity, their level of consciousness goes up. But in both cases, you are not doing anything. You can't do anything. There is no doer there. Things will happen on their own. Someone will come closer, others will move away. What do you think? Even with Bhagavan, there were people who got agitated in his company, and then people were there who just saw him once and they got liberation. It was not that his grace was not to one person and to other. The grace was always ever flowing. But depends if someone comes with a closed heart or an open heart. Someone is egoless or someone is full of ego. Grace can fill only if you are empty. Grace can never fill a mind full of pride and ego. Stay as nothingness, empty all the time, as if we don't have any rights. Even when you know someone is misbehaving, having ill thoughts about you, you send prayers to them with love, with kindness. Stay humble. Humility is the biggest virtue. And if you stay in this stillness, the supreme power will take control of everything. And the middleman called ego will disappear. And you are left only with pure bliss and peace. Unending joy. You can never ever say again that you don't have time, because you are beyond time. You are timeless. Your time doesn't end with the end of the body. You are free. Let what comes. You stand as a stillness. This is tapas. This is austerity. Not opening your mouth. Not complaining. This is titiksha. Forbearance. Not jumping into sensory objects. You are just a visitor in this body-mind. Try to use less of this body and less of this mind and less of the senses. We have actually exploited them. Give them rest. You know, always it reminds me when Kabir says, the Indian saint, "Jyon ki tyon dhardini chadariya," like this body mind was given by God to me. I just kept it like that. I didn't use it. And how do you use it? Taste. Running for taste. Running for perfume, smell. Running to hear music and dance and all from the ears. Running to watch movies and plays and dramas and this and sports, all the time watching, listening, tasting, and the touch. Indulging in the pleasure senses. And then what happens? They become immune after some time, and you need bigger taste, and then bigger and more. It's not higher taste. And we destroy the body and senses. then what happens with this chadariya? It gets so dirty. Then we start washing it. And what is satsang is to wash it in that bliss, to go back to that purity, where you are not indulging in the sensations, sensory indulgences, where you're not using the mind, where you're not taking pride of doing anything. You're also not taking any guilt of any sort. Giving peace a chance. No aggression. And also not passive, just neutral. And in this neutrality, the wisdom dawns. The awareness takes over. The ego melts away. And the mind subsides. And you become nothing. And in this nothingness, you get this knowledge. Or you become the knower. That you already knew this. And you might hit yourself that why I was always thinking I was this body mind. And it appears that you have woken up from a dream maybe. Because it's so simple, so easy. No need for any meditation. Just inquiry and contemplation. It is the simplest of simplest thing. No complexity in it. Pay attention to the pure awareness. And stay as pure awareness all the time. Rather than giving energy to the mind, give energy to the awareness, attention to the awareness. And you will realize you are always free. You are never bound. And nothing needs to be done to be free. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.